that people pleasing is kind of like just everybody likes to make everybody else happy. Not always. There are times that when you are a super or a chronic people pleaser, you're always trying to please everybody else and you're trying to make everybody else happy. The thing is, though, is what they're really crying out for is to please themselves. They're trying to find their own happiness from within. And I know this more than anybody else. I have been a people pleaser forever, and I'm always trying to make everybody else happy and pleased and comfortable and that sort of thing. And I've kind of let that go lately. I've kind of decided I'm not doing this anymore. It's not helping me, and it's actually somewhat hurting me. So let's talk a little bit more about this. One of the main things to understand is when someone is a chronic or a super people pleaser, they are literally get emotionally exhausted trying to please everybody else. They do everything else for everybody else. They are literally exhausted and kind of even gets resentful of other people because it's kind of like, I'm trying to make you happy and all you want is more from me. And this can kind of bring up some very strange energy, but there's a few reasons why. Number one reason is fear of rejection. One of the most common roots of people pleasing is a fear of rejection or abandonment. This fear can be developed in early childhood, neglect. It can bring in like social rejection, kind of like, I don't want to be on the outside of the group, I want to be on the inside of the group, and I don't want to be criticized or instill any deep feelings of like not belonging. These kind of people pleasers are often wanting to say no, but they don't know how to set up those healthy boundaries. This is something that other people end up walking away from because they're like, you have no boundaries. You'll just do anything for anybody, no matter what. And it can really make the relationship insecure because it's kind of like, I don't know if I can trust you or not trust you. Are you going to be here or not? And a lot of times it's this energy of, I don't know what to do with myself. The second reason is low self-worth. This is a core people-pleasing issue, and it's kind of like this lack of self-worth. Many of these people pleasers, they value this direct link to what others can do for them, or they're trying to make connections, constantly seeking validation in external sources. Those are the type of people that are always like, what do you think about this? Or what do you feel about this? Or show me what you think about this. And they're always wanting someone else to explain before they go, oh yeah, I believe in that too, because they want to make sure that their ideas connected with everybody else's. But this measurement of self-worth is based on how much they help or please other people. And it is a really harsh one to go through because they're always kind of falling into this trap of trying to prioritize everybody else's need and everybody else's contentment over themselves. Number 3 is trauma in childhood or conditioning as a young child. This is something that someone has grown up in. Usually they are with somebody, usually a narcissistic, and they are grown up in this energy of you've got to make everybody else happy before you can be happy. And usually that comes in with a lot of narcissistic energy. Growing up with a strict or a critical environment. This is someone who was raised with a parent who is usually narcissistic, and they used guilt or criticism to make that person behave. Children in these households have a high expectation, emotional responsibility of like, I need to make everybody else happy. I don't care about me, but I care about everybody else around me. This usually comes in with an emotionally unavailable caregiver. Like I said, usually a parent or a caregiver that is narcissistic, because all they know how to do is literally put on that criticism or that guilt and keep gaining their approval. Like, if you do this, I won't feel as bad about you, kind of that kind of energy. This also comes in from people that had trauma, a real trauma in their childhood, usually emotional, physical, psychological trauma, which may help people kind of like understand the pleasing tendencies as a survival mechanism. And this is something to avoid conflict or danger, because when everything is unstable, if I make this person happy, I might be able to live through the night. And that sounds like crazy weird, but it is crazy true at the same time. Over time, these coping mechanisms are ingrained into our habits as adults, and we don't even realize that they're there. Number 4 is cultural or society expectations. Cultural norms and society really reinforce this people pleasing, especially for women. Many cultures value traits of selflessness, nurturing of others, and compliance to everybody else. They always say yes. They avoid confrontation and disagreement in all forms. They put others' needs in front of themselves, even when it's unhealthy, even when they're sick or not doing well physically. They're going to be taking care of everybody else. Number 5 is conflict avoidance. People pleasers often kind of like dread that conflict with other people, and they kind of get like, I'm afraid to get someone upset, or kind of lack of confidence. I don't know what opinion they want me to give or what needs that they want, and so they literally kind of like don't know how to like set their own boundaries. They avoid discomfort. These are usually people that don't want to get into conflict. I don't want to argue with you, even if it's just something like, what should I do about this, or whatever it is. They kind of get to the point where it's like, I don't want any conflict at all, and they often just give into the other person to kind of avoid everything. Number 6 is a desire to be loved. This can really come into a lot of connections with other people. People pleasers may equate pleasing other people with being loved and accepted, even though it's opposite energy or not completely the same. If everybody else is happy, then they'll love me. If I say no, they won't love me anymore. It's kind of their mindset with this. This kind of creates cycles of self-neglect, because it's like, I'm trying to make everybody else happy and not worry about myself. These are also expectations that may seem like okay at the beginning, but literally you have to learn how to break free of your people-pleasing abilities. And really the beginning of it is understanding how I got this way. What is the root cause of me being a people pleaser? Once you do that, it kind of really helps you build awareness, recognizing the patterns and the triggers that are driving your people pleasing behaviors, strengthening your own self-worth, and finding a sense of value for you. What do you bring to the world? Even if it's just waking up in the morning, like, you always have that sense of purpose in your life. Setting healthy boundaries can be, oh my gosh, super, super hard for people pleasers. It is hard to do, but it's something that you have to learn how to do and accomplish. It's not always easy. And the last one is, I will say, seek support. Seek support who's someone who's used to be a people pleaser and now not a people pleaser, a therapist, a coach, someone who's kind of can help you with those underlying wounds and help develop healthier dynamics with everybody around you. Because usually people are not just people pleasers with their family, they're people pleasers with everybody. They are people pleasers at work, at home, in different places, in different aspects. They are people pleasers, and that's the part that is very difficult for them to get over. And also understanding there must be some healing with any past trauma that you've had. Doesn't mean you need to heal all of it. It just means that you need to look at it and kind of find a good common ground with that, so you can feel better about what you've been through and where you want to go. If you're ready to break free from your people-pleasing energy, ready to learn how to make healthy boundaries with other people, make sure that you find that right coach. If it's me, that is awesome. I'll link below where you can schedule an appointment with me, and we can get a great one-on-one and talk about all of this. Together, you need to help rediscover and empower your life and learn how to please yourself before anyone else.